Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I was, I wouldn't say I was really hard on Amber in my last video, but I wasn't too kind of impressed with how she suddenly just sort of became the person she is now. And I think it was a bit weird. It just came out of the blue, completely normal Amber. And she's been this quiet little cute little person who, we've been watching, and I really kind of fell for it. I thought maybe something had happened that turned her to the person that she is today, but I think she was always that person, and she created a persona for YouTube that she couldn't carry out for more than 17 videos. Okay, but today we have an emotional look into my past. This is part one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be combining part one and part two or uploading them separately. She has uploaded them separately, but I probably will be combining them. But I don't know, guys. It all depends on what happens. But obviously, she's going to be talking about her past. I haven't seen this video. I have heard certain things, and I have seen certain comments from this video. But I haven't watched it, so this will be the first time that I'm watching it. So gonna press play now. Oh, I will add, this is video number 23, guys.
Hi everyone. I kind of wanted
Apologies, guys. My volume is very low.
to talk about something different today. Hi everyone. I kind of wanted to talk about something different today. I made this vlog, channel, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, before she starts getting into the emotional things, I just want to say, isn't it odd that she's sort of gone back into that act? Because I'm sorry, guys, if you disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. My opinion is that this is an act. I'm not saying what she's going to be saying in this video is an act. I'm just saying the way she's acting is definitely an act, and it's very clear. Her last video versus this one, completely different. Her last video versus the others, completely different. Her last video versus her last video up to date, same person.
For a few reasons. I enjoy watching so many different kinds of videos, whether it's funny or whether it's beauty gurus or weight loss vlogs or just regular people vlogs. And I like what each and every single one of them.
Why did she refer to people that aren't on a weight loss journey, or people who don't do music, do makeup, or things that, tutorials? Why did she refer to those people as regular people?
Has to offer. So, as you can tell, I've put a lot of vlogs up, I put random tags up. Well, today I figured maybe you can get to know me and why I am the way I am now. So this video is going to be about my childhood and what led me up to where I am now. And I hope you stick around to watch it.
Okay, so I'm going to start with, I am going to be sticking around to watch this. This is going to be very interesting for me. As I've said, I haven't watched this video, and I'm about to really kind of, get to know Amber as Amber. I remember her making a video about her being attacked that was sort of fought over the internet. And she referred to her girlfriend as Cassidy. Cassidy is transgender, therefore I will be referring to Cassidy as Casey, a he, because he is now a he, and that is what he wants to be, a he, and so he is a he. But I remember there was this upheaval all over YouTube. I hadn't actually watched Amberlynn's video of it, and it really annoyed me because I do believe she took it down. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but I will be, like I said, I'll be reacting to every single one of her videos. I'm just gonna have to work out where that one fit in. So if anyone does know, can you please let me know? But yeah, so we kind of have to listen to what Amberlynn has to say. However, not all of it may be true, you know? We, there's a lot of things that Amber says and does that aren't true. Um, but yeah, I will give her the benefit of the doubt and I will listen to what she has to say.
So, I was born December 27th, 1990 in Key West, Florida. I do not remember anything about there at all. I moved to California with my parents when I was just a baby. And I grew up in California. But let's rewind a little bit. I remember as a younger girl, I did have a very, very hard childhood. My parents were drug addicts. They abused each other, neglected each other, but it's not just about the negative things in my life. I can remember the positives. We'd go camping, and I loved the outdoors as a little girl. I was actually called the golden child because I was so tan. I was always on my bike, I was always swimming, and I was always chubby then too, but I didn't care. I went out and did things that little kids did. But as I got older, I started realizing more so that my parents weren't like normal parents. Their location of using drugs was in the bathroom. So every time I'd go in there, I knew that when they came out, they'd be a different person. It wasn't a good way to live, but I feel like it did make me stronger in a way. I went through a lot. When I was 8 years old, my mom said that she was pregnant with her third child. I already had a brother, and he's younger, so I'm the older child, and I was really happy. I was thrilled, actually. I knew she was doing drugs with him. Any 8-year-old wouldn't have a clue, but I had to grow up. I had to, in a way, be my own parent. So, when my brother was born, he was so adorable, and gosh, I loved him. As days went on, I did kind of take the role of being a parent in a way. I still remember one time in particular when my parents were on so many drugs that they were like passed out. My baby brother was crying, and I wasn't sure why, so I went into the room of where they were, and it was because his crib was by a curtain, and the curtain string was wrapped around his neck. I will never forget that day as long as I live. Even now, it's emotional for me. His face was purple. He was screaming and crying, and to put it shortly, I had to save his life, and I did. And then I realized that I don't think my parents will ever change. I was a 9-year-old, and I was taking on the role of being a mother. So one day when I was at school, I think 3rd or 4th grade, I got a call.
Okay, so I did just rewind it, guys, because obviously she's taken a break during, recording this. That's really sad. That was actually quite hard for me to watch. We all have our personal things that go on in our lives. I don't know where my channel is going to be leading me, guys, but I don't feel like really sharing too much about myself. I'm sure one day I will open up like a big, massive book to you all. But right now, what I can honestly say is I understand. I understand certain struggles. I do. I really do. I understand certain struggles that she listed there. Um, it's it's um it's really sad. It's very very sad. I have to say that I'm gonna let her finish first.
So, one day when I was at school, I think third or fourth grade, I got a call to the office. There were police there, and I wasn't sure what was really happening. And come to find out, I was being put into foster care. I was being put into foster care with my one brother, but my little brother was being put into a separate home. After being in foster care for over a year, I was actually in a children's shelter for longer than that. I found out that my brother was actually going to be an adopted child. He was going to be put in closed adoption, which meant I would never be allowed to see him again. It broke my heart, and it still does. And it happened 12 years ago. In a way, I felt like my own child was being adopted. So it was just a hard time for me. After trying to accept it, I was thrown around into different foster homes and with my other brother, and soon we got separated. We were separated for a few years. It was very hard. A lot of the time I felt alone and just confused with life. When I turned 12, my parents finally decided to get their act together, and we went to court, and we had a 6-month trial to live with them. And that trial turned into 2 years, but it was a failed trial. The whole time my family was just getting worse and worse. I started smoking marijuana. I turned to the wrong type of people to hang out with. My brother started acting out. He started hitting me. My parents got worse. Their drug addiction went to a whole new level. We actually lived in a trailer. That's mainly what I lived. Whenever I lived with my parents, that's mainly where we lived. It was the smallest trailer ever. And I never saw my dad, even though we were under the same roof. He had people coming in and out of the home all hours of the day, all hours of the night, to buy his drugs. My parents actually got separated at this time, which was hard to handle. I guess it was best for them, but it was still hard. One day I was actually texting a friend, and I told her that I wanted to die and I didn't want to be alive anymore. her mom found the text message, and her mom brought the text to my school, and I ended up being put in a mental hospital. I didn't think I needed it. I wasn't really gonna kill myself. I was just really depressed, and it was just, life was not going how I wanted it to. When I got that 6-month trial to be with my family again, I honestly thought that they were gonna change forever, but they didn't. Things got so much worse, and I didn't know how to handle it. And saying I was going to die felt like the easiest answer. I was in the mental hospital for about 6 days, and obviously they diagnosed me with depression, which I already knew. I was diagnosed with depression since the age of 10, and I was taking antidepressants for I don't even know how long. But after I left the mental hospital, I took a whole new meaning of life because I saw people in there that were mental. I'm not trying to be mean in any way, but I don't think I was meant to be there, but it did change my life. And that I do appreciate. Every day since then, I never wished a day of my life that I wasn't alive. Somewhere.
Okay, so the first thing that I am gonna say is, of course, everything that Amber's saying is horrible. Um, I just want to make it very, very clear, guys, that no, I am not a doctor, but mental illness ranges, low to high, you could say, or you could say sort of horizontally, but either way, low to high, high to low. I'm sure she went to that mental hospital, as she calls it, but she went to the mental hospital and she was diagnosed with a mental illness. A lot of people do not understand that how you feel inside and how you feel in, like, within your head, how you feel inside yourself. You are either well or you're ill, and they diagnosed her with something proving that she was ill. Just because she doesn't have schizophrenia, just because she didn't have bipolar, you know I just think the way she sort of said that could actually sort of be quite offensive, because those people may have even been going a little bit crazy in there. I know that word is thrown around too much and I'm just trying to explain, guys. But if people were acting mental, as she said, maybe they were acting mental because there was nothing wrong with them either. Or maybe they are like her and they suffer from serious denial. You know, the one thing I can definitely relate to, and I'm not going to open up about it completely, guys, but I will just share with you. I ended up ruining my life completely because I decided to attention seek. No, I did not tell anyone that I was going to commit suicide, like Amber did, but I did do something that was very shocking, and a lot of people felt that I needed help because of it. I said something, and saying things is so dangerous sometimes. It really is. Um, so what mine was I said something. I said a few things actually, and I was recorded saying it. And I am just gonna make it very clear, it's got nothing to do with murder or anything, guys. It's not as bad as that. However, it is very bad. The result my life will never be the same because of what came from me attention seeking. And that's what Amber was trying to say there. When she messaged her friend, she was purely just attention seeking. And I don't believe that her friend's mother found the phone. I think her friend was scared for her and didn't know what else to do, and so took the phone and the message to her mother. because she wanted to help Amber. You know, it's really upsetting to me, everything that Amber said, especially what she said about her baby brother. You know, that really, really pulled on my heartstrings. There's just one question I would have for Amber. How do you manage to sit there and talk about all of this? And yeah, we can see that she's emotional, but she's yet to shed a tear. Even when she, spoke of the memory of her baby brother turning blue. But she will sit there and cry over comments on a video from strangers she doesn't even know because they're strangers. So it's just very confusing to me. If I'm being honest, that's the only thing that is confusing me right now.
In my younger years, my mom did have another child, and I held him once, and she put him up for close adoption the day he was born. I know my two brothers are out there, and more than anything, I just hope that one day they can look at me and I can look at them and we know that we're family.
Okay, I'm very, very confused. I'm going to have to rewind to the little break that she did because maybe I missed something.
I held him once, and that I do appreciate. Every day since then, I never wished a day of my life that I wasn't alive. Somewhere in my younger years, my mom did have another child, and I held him once, and she put him up for close adoption the day he was born. I know my two brothers are out there, and more than anything, I just hope that one day they can look at me and I can look at them and we know that we're family. I miss them every day. Even if I knew one brother longer than the other one, I love them both equally. And more than anything, being able to see them again would mean the world to me.
Guys, okay, whatever you would like to say about the comments I'm about to make, feel free. But sometimes I do feel like I'm losing my mind, I have to admit. She just said that her mum had another baby and she put him up for closed adoption the day he was born. So surely she would be looking forward to meeting 3 brothers since she already had one, and then she had the one who she saved the life of, and then this baby that got put up for adoption the day he was born. Am I missing something, guys? Please let me know.
So, as everything got worse and worse within my life, my parents started taking more drugs. Even though my parents were separated, my mom was living down the street with her boyfriend in a different trailer, which was literally 10 feet away. So, I was in class yet again, and I get called to the office. About school, I never went. I didn't care about school. Things that were happening at home were ruining my education because that's all I thought about. I'd either miss school or I'd just not care. Like, I'd go and I wouldn't do any of the work. School was hard. I got made fun of every single day. The few friends I did have actually weren't my friends. They weren't. I mean, the way they treated me isn't how a friend should treat another friend. But every day I was bullied. I was the smelly kid. I was the fat girl. That's how people knew me. I was Fat Amber. I didn't know how to handle it, but I just got bigger and bigger. But as I was in class on one day, I got called to the office, the cops came, and yet again, me and my brother were being put into foster care. It was hard. Um, that's the biggest word you can use for such an experience is it's hard. It's overwhelming.
I'm finding it really difficult to work out. I understand what she's saying, and I'm sure some of it is true, but I'm finding it really difficult to work this whole little brother situation out. She had a brother, he was younger than her, and then her mum and dad had another baby, and she saved that baby's life. And she said her and her brother went into foster care, and that little baby went into foster care, but he was in a different home. She then said that the little baby, her little brother, was then adopted. And I know she says that she will never see him again, but there is a chance that she will see him again. And I have to admit, I cannot believe that she chose to come on YouTube and do this. Sit there and eat food. Sit there and literally eat herself to death on camera for views. Buying all this crazy stuff. And you could have made a channel for your brother. A channel for people to be proud of, people to, if you say you were doing it for people, you could have done it for the good. I'm really shocked, guys. I am just really shocked. I'm really shocked. So she has 3 brothers, but it's as though she's forgotten. I honestly don't know, guys. Please, right? I've never begged for comments before. I'm begging you for a comment because something does not add up. And this isn't me picking on Amber. I want to make that very clear. I'm not trying to pick on her. I'm trying to understand what on earth is going on. So please, help me to understand.
And depressing. You can use for such an experience is it's hard. It's overwhelming and depressing. You don't know what to do when you're put into strangers' homes. You don't know what to do when you're put into a children's shelter. You kind of just have to go with the flow. It's like you're caged in. It's just hard. But this time was a little different. I was in the shelter for months, and I had this daily visit with my mom where I was allowed to spend the whole day with her, with my brother as well, once a week. And so we did that, and I was just texting my friend, simply joking, saying I should live with you because she was my best friend at the time. And little did I know, 2 months later, I was living with her. It was absolutely insane. I don't know how it happened. It happened so quickly, and honestly, at the time, I thought this was beginning to a whole new life that I was gonna love every minute of. But I was definitely wrong.
Okay. Off to part 2 it is. I am going to put that in a separate video, guys. I am going to put it as video number 23, because... No, I'm going to put 23 part 1, 23 part 2, 22... Oh, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, guys. You're going to see it on the title anyway. Alright, guys. So, I will see you there in a moment.